Welcome back everyone. Today we're revisiting an older project of mine and turning it into something new. About 2 years ago, I built a tilting display table to showcase different canvases. Each panel was controlled by different programmable servos, allowing me to decide the direction and timing of every movement. It was a great blend of motion and presentation, but now it's time to take it further. This time I'm building a single tilting table with expanded functionality, one that not only tilts, but can also continuously rotate left or right. The project was heavily inspired by the work of artist and professor Daniel Rosen, who is known for creating mechanical panels and mirrors that respond to movement. I've always been drawn to the fusion of mechanics and art to create something visually engaging and dynamic. So let's get started by assembling the base and the top of the table. For the base, I'm using a wooden circle, which I'll be painting completely black to match the rest of the components. I've also designed and 3D printed custom feet that will be screwed into the bottom, lifting the base slightly off the ground. Next, we move on to the top section. This piece will house the servos, bearings, slip ring, and support arms. It will sit directly on top of the base. I'll begin by securing 2 servos on each side of this top piece. Once the servos are firmly in place, I'll attach the 3D printed arms that will support the upper structure. I've printed 4 arms in total, 2 that will connect directly to the servos via servo horns, and 2 that act as pivoting supports. To assemble them, I'll insert a 3mm rod through each arm, connecting them to the top structure. After inserting the rod, I'll secure everything with lock nuts, making sure that there's enough slack for smooth and unrestricted movement. Next, I'll move on to the servo-driven arms. These include pre-designed fittings to ensure a tight, secure connection to the servo horns. Once attached, each horn is fastened with 2 screws, one to secure the arm itself and another to lock the assembly onto the servo. With all 4 arms installed, 2 fixed to servos and 2 free moving, the upper structure can be fully supported. Now we can shift the focus to the base assembly underneath, which will house one final servo responsible for rotating the entire structure 360 degrees. Before installing those components, let's take a closer look at one of the most important parts of this build, the slip ring. A conductive rotary slip ring is an electronic device that allows power and signals to pass from a stationary component to a rotating one. This enables continuous 360-degree rotation without wires tangling or losing connection, making it essential for any project involving constant rotation. I've used slip rings in several other builds, including my full robot project I'm currently working on, where it allows the head to rotate freely without any wiring issues. This specific rotary slip ring cost around $68 on Amazon. It's not the cheapest option, but it performs reliably, and I'll leave a link in the description for anyone interested in picking one up. I highly recommend it. To install it, I'll start by feeding the top wires of the slip ring through the center hole in the base piece. Once positioned, I secure it from underneath using a couple of screws. After that, I mount the bearing on top of the base, guiding the same set of wires through it. With the bearing fully seated, we're just about ready to connect the top and base sections together. Before joining the 2 pieces, I need to route those same wires through the top of the structure. The wires are essential, they'll carry both power and signal to the servos while allowing the entire assembly to rotate continuously. Once the wires are fed through the pre-made opening in the top piece, I'll firmly press the top and base together. From there, I install the upper bearing and insert a central bolt that runs through the top structure, the base, and the slip ring. The fit on the bolt was a bit tight, so I used the power drill to drive it through completely. Once the bolt was fully seated, I added a washer and a lock nut to secure everything in place. After tightening everything down, I tested the assembly to make sure the top can still rotate freely without resistance. With everything moving smoothly, I moved on to installing the circuit board where all the wires will be soldered to allow proper signals to pass through. Once the soldering was complete, all connections were in place and the system was ready to go. I also 3D printed a top cover to enclose the servos and wiring and covering access to the central bolt. With everything assembled and functioning, it's time to move on to the buttons and microcontrollers that will bring this project to life. For this project, I'm using 3 LED latch push button switches, an OLED display, a 5V 5A voltage regulator, a servo motor controller, an Arduino Uno, and 2 momentary push button switches. As you can see, I've already wired everything together and uploaded the code to the Arduino Uno, so now it's time to install all the components into the 3D printed enclosure, which will be mounted to the base. Once the enclosure is secured, I carefully place the Arduino Uno into its designated slot. At this stage, I have to be extremely cautious not to pull or damage any of the wires that have already been soldered or connected to the proper pins. After positioning the board, I begin organizing the wiring so everything fits cleanly inside the enclosure. This turned out to be one of the more challenging parts of the entire build. Between carefully rerouting wires and working within such a tight space, it definitely required patience, and having larger hands didn't make it any easier. After placing the Arduino Uno, I was still having trouble managing all the wiring. To make things easier, I used a pair of tweezers to carefully adjust and reposition the wires. This also helped when installing the 2 push buttons that will control the settings on the OLED display. These buttons allow me to adjust how far the servos rotate along with their direction and speed. Next, I made sure the 2 upper servos were properly connected to the servo motor controller. With a bit of patience, I was able to fit the controller neatly inside the enclosure alongside the Arduino Uno. From there, I moved on to installing the 3 LED latching switches. Securing each one in place, each switch controls a different function. Once the switches were in place, I carefully installed the voltage regulator and closed up the enclosure, leaving only one final component to mount, the OLED screen. With everything properly installed and no loose wires, I powered the system using a simple 5V plug-in adapter to test it. After I powered the voltage regulator, one latching switch was already on and the top structure arms began flexing up and down as expected. All of the adjustable settings can be controlled using the 2 buttons under the OLED display. I then pushed another button and the top began to rotate slowly. So now that I know it's working, I need to make a dedicated on-off switch where the power adapter plugs in, allowing the entire system to be powered with a single button press. This is another small component I designed and 3D printed. On the front, I mounted a 12V female socket so the power adapter can plug directly into the switch. I also added a 5V male plug, which is soldered straight to the switch and feeds directly into the 5V regulator. This setup makes things much more convenient, eliminating the need to constantly plug and unplug the power adapter if I want to leave it unconnected. Once all the wiring was tucked away and the soldering was complete, I was ready to install the switch, test the power, and mount the top section. After mounting the switch, I powered everything on and spent some time testing the controls just to see if there were any buttons not working and to see if the servos were properly in sync. Once I was satisfied with that, I moved on to attaching the top piece, which will be the last 3D printed part I'm using. The top section is 3D printed, and I used 3mm bolts, washers, and lock nuts to secure all 4 corners of the arms. The servo motors drive the pivot arms, allowing the table to tilt up to 180 degrees back and forth, while the third servo controls the full rotation of the upper structure. The result is a system where the top can spin clockwise or counterclockwise while also adjusting its tilt angle at the same time. Now that everything is fully assembled and the machine is working as intended, it's time to finish things off with the mounting plate for the canvas. I cut a small piece of wood to serve as the mounting surface and spray painted it black to match the rest of the build. Once the paint had fully dried, I moved on to attaching the canvas I created for this project. The piece measures 10 by 10 inches and was finished using both spray paint and an airbrush. Before securing it permanently, I temporarily taped the canvas to the board to line everything up. This allowed me to drill precise holes and ensure I could use enough screws to firmly mount the canvas to the wooden plate. With everything secured, the final step was to remount the completed piece back onto the arms, bringing the entire table together. To finish things off, I used a mini drill to tighten all the bolts on the arms and added the proper number of washers to each connection point. This helps reduce friction where the arms meet the top piece, allowing everything to move more smoothly and reliably. With that, the project is officially complete. Ideally, I'd love to mount this piece on a wall in the future, but for now it's designed as a standalone display. I can program the movement, timing, and direction of the canvas, creating a wide range of motion patterns. The buttons light up as each function is activated, and by combining different button inputs with adjustments made through the OLED screen, the table can produce a variety of dynamic behaviors. I'm really happy with how this turned out, but there's definitely more room to expand and improve on the design in the future. If you're interested, you can purchase digital versions of my artwork featured in this project on my website. Head over to dartwork365.com to check out more of my art and 3D printing projects. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next project.